That's a great question because I'm very inspired about what we do every day in the ophthalmology industry. And from a pharmaceutical perspective, I look at our job is to provide the doctors the best tools possible to ensure patients have the best vision possible. And I'm passionate about research and development, passionate about solving problems to give doctors the tools, the therapeutics to address, in most situations, very serious conditions. And it's that inspires me, but it's also the day-to-day interaction with the physicians. And I can think of a doctor by the name of Edward Holland from Cincinnati, world-renowned corneal specialist. And a story that he shared with me about a young patient that presented to him, to his clinic, with a severe corneal problem, and one that other doctors were not able to fix. And he shared with us all his approach, the team approach, and how he addressed this very complicated situation, in which ultimately the patient's vision was restored. But it doesn't stop there. As a show of appreciation, the fact that this patient had gone to multiple doctors and no one had been able to restore vision, that Ed was able to restore this patient's vision. The patient put a tattoo on her arm, and it said Holland. And he actually captured this as part of a video presentation to show this technique that he uses to restore vision for severe corneal blindness. And that is a show of appreciation. The patient put a tattoo Holland, and I think about that, and it's stuff like that it does inspire me to work with docs to ensure that they have the tools, the resources to make impact like that. Shires offers a comprehensive portfolio of products for the anterior segment. Primarily is a program for dry eye disease led by our approved product in the US and Canada, Xiidra, a novel treatment for dry eye that treats both the signs and symptoms of this very common condition. We're also in the process of expanding globally our franchise and have registrations, applications for approval in Europe, the Gulf countries, Latin America, as well as Asia Pacific. So we can foresee over the next year, multiple approvals and ideally setting up to launch our program for dry eye in multiple countries. In addition, we're working on a novel program for infectious conjunctivitis, one which, if approved, would be indicated for both bacterial as well as adenoviral conjunctivitis. We also have another program for dry eye, another mode of action through an acquisition of a company called Perion Therapeutics. This product acts almost as a secretagogue. It maintains hydration on the ocular surface. In addition, we also have an early stage program for glaucoma. Ideally, though, when I look at the future of the company, independent of what's going on with the Takeda situation, is to diversify our portfolio even further with expansion into the posterior segment. I think from a state of innovation in the ophthalmology industry, we're in an absolutely beautiful time. Having been in the industry over 25 years, I see the amount of investments going in to treat very common conditions of the anterior segment, the posterior segment, and inherited retinal diseases is at an all-time high. We have a wonderful ecosystem of venture capitalists, of private equity, of strategics, of KOLs, clinical trial programs, all coming together to solve very common conditions, and in some cases, very rare conditions that ophthalmologists and optometrists see in their office. So I think from a state of innovation, we have a wonderful time, a wonderful opportunity to address numerous conditions, not just in the US, but also globally. And I think we're very fortunate that we have a wonderful FDA in the US that provides guidance and feedback on what it will take to get drugs approved. And companies take that, they execute effectively the clinical trials to ultimately get these drugs over the finish line and in the hands of physicians to treat patients. When I look at some of the best advice that I've received, it's pretty straightforward. Become a subject matter expert. Read, study, get as engaged into the area that you're working on to the best of your ability. I love reading the trade journals. Someone said that all the information in ophthalmology for the most part, ends up there. Might not be very comprehensive, but for the most part, whether it's Ocular Surgery News, Ophthalmology Times, iWorld, Review of Ophthalmology, if you can read those, you can really understand what's going on in the industry and be able to articulate that to not only your coworkers, but to physicians, to industry partners. And, I think back, that's what really differentiates us and hopefully differentiates me, is that advice that was given, become the subject matter expert. And then lastly, show up with a lot of enthusiasm. Be excited about what you do, smile, engage people, and if you do that, good things will happen. The one rule I have is don't say no. It's so easy in this day when so many things are coming out. No, I can't do this. No, I can't do that. But when I look at business opportunities, when someone presents an idea, it could be a crazy idea, but listen to it. Let me get back to you, because someone has spent time, energy, expended resources to present something. And it's so easy in this crazy, busy world to say no, but don't. It's very tempting. Just listen to them, explore, spend a few minutes exploring, understanding what their concept is. And you may not have to say yes to the entire process, but there might be something in there that's worth exploring. And I just feel like someone spent time, it's worth to listen and give them the opportunity. And eventually you can say no, but be receptive and open to creative ideas. Because when I look at my career, I wouldn't be where I was today if I said no. It was just, it's embedded in me. When it's so easy to say it, and I hear my colleagues say it, and I challenge them on that. Be open to interesting ideas, and when you do so, great things can happen. It's the highlight of the year for me, because it's where everything comes together. I call it the Academy of the Eyeball Olympics, but really it's kicked off with the opening ceremony, and that's OIS, and especially at the Academy, because again, we have the KOLs, we have industry, we have startups, we have strategics, we have CROs, everyone comes together, and I call it the ecosystem. And I try to know everybody, meet people, network, socialize, connect people, and OIS allows that to happen. I learn, I love the lectures, I love the continuity we all have, and how much engaged people are. And you can see from the first time you walk in here around 7 o'clock, you go to the breakouts, everyone has that extra hop in their step, because they know they're going to get very valuable information.